And I'm live. Good Saturday morning, everybody. I have something to say. And what better way to say it than on Facebook, YouTube? Maybe I should go on Instagram too. But what better way to say it than live with my close friends and family? So, I hope you guys can join and share my notes. I've been wanting to say what I have to say for since Monday. And then ever since Monday, things have just been growing and growing. And so my notes are all over the place. But please help me share this live. And I would love to have your feedback and your comments. I'm sharing it to multiple places today. So I may not be able to see all of the comments live. That's just a heads up warning. Let me see. I'm gonna try to go one other place where I can try to watch comments at the exact same time. But y'all, I have something to say. I have something to say. I know you all have something to say. So please, please, please comment, right? Comment on you know, you your opinions as well on the live, and then let's just go. But I tell you, if you're watching the live, the best place to watch it from where I can see the comments for the questions is the Friends of Mikko Pickett page, because from there I can see the comments on my live. But every place else, like on my personal wall, I can't really see the comments. It's a glitch in the system, okay? But let me just tell you, I'm gonna just talk about the topics that I want to talk about this wonderful Saturday morning. I hope you have your coffee. I have my tea. So good. Um, just warms me up on the inside in a good way. So again, I'm gonna talk about what happened in Georgia. Y'all know that. You know I have something to say about what happened in Georgia. That is for sure. I'm going to just talk about racial injustice in general. I'm going to talk about South Carolina's racial history of racism. I am taking a class which is why I moved my time for Mondays with Mikko. But the class I'm taking is on the history of South Carolina. And this week, y'all, I was on fire. I on fire with, and it wasn't like I was mad. I wasn't upset. I was mad, but I was on fire with what I learned. And so since Monday after my class, I've been wanting to come and share it with you because I think it's going to explain a lot of what we see, especially in Marion County. It's going to explain a lot of what we see in Marion County, and it's going to explain a lot of what we're seeing in Georgia. And I think that's why I was burning up on the inside. It was like my ancestors were just confirming everything that I was learning and confirming that it is time for us to act. I'm going to talk about Marion County specifically. We have been on the ground just simply trying to tell people that they should vote. And then just trying to tell people that they should vote and informing people of the vote itself, it's been drama. So I got to tell you. And you know what, Marion County? You're going to have to choose a side. And I'll go there. And last but not least, I think I'm going to end on a good note. Because throughout all my drama that's happened this week, there's been some good stuff that went down, that's been going down, it's still going down in Florence. So I want to talk to you about that, right? All right, so here I go. I see your comments, Kelly. Yeah, I hope you're joining. If you're on, especially if you're on the Friends of Mikko page watching, please comment. Let me know that you're here. Give me a thumbs up, a heart, or something, because this is something that we need to talk about, and it's something that, of course, we don't feel comfortable talking about. But I need to know that you're there with me, so you can help me out with that. Um, oh yeah, Kelly says what happened to Georgia is going to happen to us. Yeah, and how we've been battling since the November election. And girl, I'm gonna tell them about it. I'm gonna tell them about it today. All right. So let's just go ahead and start with Rep Cannon. Representative Park Cannon in Georgia. She was arrested and charged with a felony. And if you guys, I'm going to post it on my Friends of Mikko page as well, but I posted a side-by-side photo of a Black woman being arrested in the 60s, and then what just happened this week, right? Rep. Park Cannon was arrested for knocking on the governor's door during the signing. And I said, Rep. Park Cannon was arrested. And those visions of her being dragged out of the Capitol, the way she was dragged out of the Capitol and arrested by white police officers, burns me up. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's not good. But what I'm hoping it is, and I'm talking to everybody, not just people who look like me, not just African Americans, but all of us, whites, Blacks, Hispanics, if they don't want change so bad that they don't care what it looks like, what do you think that means for our country? We already saw what happened on January 6th, and the former president said this week it was no big deal. It was never. All those people that died, no big deal. And you've heard other people in Congress say, oh, if it was Black Lives Matter, then I would have been worried. But let me tell you, Rep. Cannon, we are with you. We are with you 100%. We applaud you for the courage to go. I'm kind of sad that she was the only one, but I applaud you for the courage to go. I know Black Voters Matter. At the exact same time she was being arrested, they was protesting at the airport. But we applaud you. And let me tell you one thing. Anybody out there who's listening, I got just an equal number of haters that listen than supporters. I quit my corporate job as an executive, making lots of money, so I don't have any fear of being arrested. I fear no man. When the time comes, I can easily be arrested. Rep. Cannon, we support you, and it's not over. Racial injustice anywhere, especially in the United States of America, is racial injustice everywhere, especially in South Carolina. So let me tell you what I learned this week about South Carolina. We talked about, this week we were learning about the Civil War, right? Civil War, the war of the North and the South. This war was fought 100% about slavery. And South Carolina is where it started. South Carolina, not only, first of all, every single thing, every single penny, every single thing in South Carolina was founded and built on slavery. If you live in South Carolina, if your family is from South Carolina, if you are living a comfortable life in South Carolina, you have slavery to thank for it. South Carolina was so bold with their slavery and wanting to win the war that they so proudly celebrate here, y'all, that they were pushing to other states. When the Civil War ended, it was a majority African American in the state of South Carolina. Y'all, they set out to kill us. We had to flee. Yeah, we had to flee. There was horrible, bloody elections. Rep. Cannon, like her, there were reps post-Reconstruction that lost their lives. Lynchings. It didn't stop. It didn't stop. South Carolina. So can you imagine? I'm sitting here on Monday, right? Let me get to some of my, make sure I'm covering all my notes here. I'm sitting in the class on Monday, and I'm learning all this stuff for the first time. Now, call me naive, I'm sorry, but I'm taking the class. But I'm learning this stuff for the first time. I'm learning that in South Carolina, slavery was worshipped. It was like we were so not a person in South Carolina, African Americans, that when slavery ended, they had to make, they lost the war. They had to make their own constitution. They made it so that they could continue to enslave us. Just dressed up, I'm going to use a term that Stacey Abrams used, just dressed up like a suit and tie. So y'all, when I see stuff that happens in our state, and I'm going to tell you about some specific things, and what's happening in Georgia, it is the same oppression and systemic racism that has been inflicted on our ancestors for 400 years. And I know that there are so many good people out there of all races and ethnicities. You don't like this either. But no longer can we just hide under a rock and pretend it didn't happen. It happened. It happened in America. It started in South Carolina. It was in Georgia. It is still here. We still have legislators that are trying to pass laws that oppress us, that criminalize behavior, that is supposed to help people. Georgia has criminalized, and I'm going to share with you guys on our wall. I'm going to share with you on my wall the comfort polls that we did, where we handed out food and water at the polls. Now, I should have known something was up the way they were harassing us on election day in November. But we ain't stopping. We coming back. I'm talking about harassing us, sending official after us, calling up to Columbia. This happened right here in Marion County. And I have pictures. I'm going to show you what we were doing with our smiling faces and our hot cocoa and our coffee. And we were offering these services to all who came to vote. And you can see in our pictures, it wasn't just African Americans who were partaking on a nice little snack or treat. It was everybody. Like I said, y'all, my notes are all over the place. It's been quite a week. So, South Carolina, I am still taking this class. I think I'm going to be taking it for several months. So you're going to be hearing a whole lot about South Carolina history. And it's interesting how learning the history of South Carolina is teaching me more about what's happening now. And I'm going to say something, and a good friend of mine is related to the late Clementa Pinckney, and pardon me if I'm not saying his name correctly, murdered in Charleston during a prayer meeting. After what I'm learning, I shudder to think, was it planned? Like I said, I'm learning in history of South Carolina that African American representatives have been killed. And now we see unfolding in front of our very own eyes. But the difference, y'all, that's what I'm talking to everybody. The difference is our ancestors, they had a hard way to go. They did not have the laws the way that we have the laws, that we could understand the laws. They did not understand how to read or write in English. They were forbidden to read. We're not. We have doctors, lawyers. We've got Black people, white people, everybody who knows what's right. So that means these racists must be stopped. It must be stopped now. Not just the racists, but the racist policies. And if you let it go, you're complicit. God help you. So let's talk about voter suppression for a second, right? So if somebody doesn't want you to vote, and I see your comments, Kelly. Kelly says South Carolina has a lot of blood on their hands. If somebody doesn't want you to vote, and let me tell you what I mean doesn't want you to vote. If they do not, and when I say they, I don't know exactly who these people are in the city of Marion, but they do not want Black Voters Matter, Pick 42 Foundation, MWIN Benevolence Foundation to just tell Black people that it's time to vote. In the city of Marion, there's 70% African Americans. They don't want to see our signs. They don't want to see our events. They don't want to let us in the hood. We can't go into the projects and canvas and give out free food. This is only in the city of Marion, by the way. They won't let us use the parks. They let us, we had reserved Grice's Park one time. I guess they figured out who we was. And they said, no, you can't use Grice's. That has to be approved by the city council. And they moved us to a park that they knew was flooded out. So guess what? We didn't use their park. I'm just telling you, these things have happened. And not to anybody else. It's happened to me and Kelly. It's happened to me and Kelly right here in Marion County. So 70% Black folks that live here, when you see us and you just drive on by, don't even look our way. When we ask you to volunteer and you say, I don't want to get involved. When we have an event and you can't even take 5 minutes to come on by, whose side are you on? Kelly and I are working for equality in Marion County. And in the city of Marion, we don't even have access. Every step we take, there's somebody in our heels. But it don't stop us. I'm just telling y'all how it is. And the blatant voter suppression that happens in Marion County, just this election alone. So not when I got receipts from when I ran for office. I have receipts from the November election. Just this election alone, people have came up to us on video and have told us that their vote has been stolen. That someone told them to sign a blank ballot. They've told us this on tape. We have evidence in Marion that people are being paid for votes that go for a certain person. The evidence written happens right here. And it's happening now. So when we say Black Voters Matter, we're saying Black voters matter, white voters matter, all votes matter. These are voter suppression tactics that I found out on Monday go back, way back. Another thing that we learned in South Carolina was that the KKK had a policy. And their policy was this. Every white person had to target, you know what they called us, but I'm going to say a black person. That's not what they called us. Every white person had to target one black person for the election. So you're African American. How'd that make you feel? Think about it. So we've got blacks who just won't vote. Blacks who don't understand that they can vote. If you have a record, as long as you're no longer serving and you've done your probation and parole, you can vote. So there's those that don't know that they can vote. And then you've got those that have been targeted by a white person so that the 30% can retain power. And how do you know if you're one of those people who've been targeted? Who's talked to you? And for those folks that have been targeted by this practice that is continuing today in Marion County, where a white person has to target a black person and disperse the name of a qualified person who's running for office, they're telling you, nobody knows who this Tony McCray guy is. He's not qualified. He doesn't live around here. Ask Tony yourself. Don't believe anything that's said. And I'm coming to you today, right? I said I had something to say because this is true. I have learned that this happened in the past. It's still happening today. I'm a witness to it. I'm a witness to it. The objective is the way people in power can keep their position of power when they are the minority is by dividing the majority. That's the only way. So, dividing the majority. Somebody said to me this week, and I don't even know who it was, and I told them I was going to write it down, I was going to use it. They said to me that there's more people in poverty than people in power. And if there's no place that ain't true, it's definitely true in Marion County. But thank you so much, Holly. Holly says there's the voter fraud, and I believe she was talking about the payments. Somebody says, hey, I know you got your ballot. How does she know that that person has their ballot? That's what they said. Hey, I know you got your ballot. So when it comes in the mail today, give me a call. I need you to vote for a certain person. And if I take it in, they're going to pay me. Why would a black person do that? Why would a black person participate? Thought about that. Why would a black person participate in that kind of trickery against their own kind? Because they're paid. And you know, I found out that we can have poll watchers in the early vote. Now here's the thing. I'm just one person. Kelly's just one person. We can't do it alone. But this person who's being paid to bring in the ballots, all we got to do is sit up there at the election office and we'll see exactly who it is. We'll see exactly who it is who's getting paid to bring in these votes. And our elected officials, their offices are in the same building. They know who it is. Marion County, this is happening right here. You wonder why so many live in poverty. Why I have a whole that I have to, every time I leave my house, my husband has to drive around a different street, or we got to go through the hole slow. We have called the water company at least a dozen times. Supposedly this time they're really going to fix it. Our communities, I got an abandoned building right next to me, abandoned building across the street. Why is that? Why is that? When we know that the priorities in Marion County should be human related. Simple things. People need shelter. They need food. That's not the priority in Marion County. Why? Because Marion County is not electing people who will focus on your priorities and your issues. You're letting this nonsense that has been happening with our vote be pervasive. It is poison. We are seeing it in Georgia, and it is here in South Carolina. It never left. Going back to my notes. So let's go back to Georgia for a second. Remember during the election, I was on here, super upbeat Mikko, right? Like Georgia. We got to support them. Call everybody you know in Georgia. It is because of Georgia that we are able to breathe a sigh of relief today. Think about it. Since that man, our former president, has been out of office, do you sleep better at night? The stimulus, the American Rescue Plan, the general decorum. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Georgia. Georgia has been in the cross eyes of this battle for over, who knows how long, but specifically for over a year. Just think about it. The races, the runoffs. When we were done our election, they were still running. But we won. And when I say we, I mean democracy. Because we see what happens. Elections has consequences. And I know I'm going late. I'm going to keep talking. I'm not done with my notes. Bear with me. Let me see. No, not a lot of comments. Maybe there's some comments on my other page. I know I'm going. All right, y'all. So let's talk about some good for a second. And then I want to end with how you can help. So positive. Kelly and I went to Florence, and we've hired a coordinator there. Her name is Quinicia Moses, and she is absolutely amazing. And we have 6 days to plan an amazing event, which we will hold on March 30th. And I am so excited about that. So let me tell you how it's been though. Florence showed up. Like when we came to Florence and we said we wanted to have this event, the community has just been so wonderful to us. The vendors have been like, I'm down with the cause. They have been chipping in. They've been helping us get locations. They're going to be with us on the ground, right? They're not driving by us. When we was in the parking lot planning an event, people were coming by talking. Oh, y'all planning something. Can I help? That's the community coming together. And this is a community that her nor I live in. So that's a happy note. And then here's my thing for the city of Marion or Marion County. Kelly and I and Black Voters Matter need you. Stop driving by us. Stop telling people that you don't want to get involved in politics. Stop missing our events purposely. And it's not just about Marion. If we have an event in Marion, you live in Mullins, come. Show support. Show support. If we had 1/10 of the support in Marion that we have in Florence, just in 2 days on the ground, things would be so different around here. 1/10. So, y'all can call it whatever you want to call it. You might have to say, who's this girl, Mikko? Who's she to say anything? I'm just telling you like I see it. That's it. I'm just telling you like I see it. So what can you do? One, we're going to need to seriously boycott. We're going to need to join Black Voters Matter in their boycott. And I wrote down some of the companies that they're boycotting. They're boycotting Aflac, Delta, Coca-Cola. Sister loves her Diet Coke. I won't be drinking that no more. I got like 3 bottles. They already paid for. I'm going to drink them, but then that's it. And Netflix. Why Netflix? But think about it. In the 60s, those bus boycotts, in order for us to get the change we needed, them sisters had to walk. And walk and walk and walk. And they did it. And we got the change we needed. So if I have to give up on a Diet Coke or 2, maybe instead of flying Delta, I got to take a connection on American. We got to do it. Got to take a stand. Got to support Black Voters Matter. We got to support our people. We have to support change if we want to see change. So we need to contact our state legislators, or federal, sorry, because we need to, for the People Act, the John Lewis Act, we need that approved. Now, goodness gracious, in my district, we got Tom Rice. And we've got Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott. Probably not a chance in H that they're going to vote for any equal rights for African Americans. But we can still call them. We can still bombard their offices with phone calls. Tell them what we want. And then we activate together and we get rid of them. And then we will have people in office that will listen to the needs of all of the community. White, Black, Indian, Native American, Chinese, Asian. We're all in this together. And I have. People say they have Black friends, but I got white friends. And I love them. I love them. And I know it's not hard for you all, being sometimes when you go around your friends and family members and there are different opinions. But guess what? There's more of us together than those that tend to hold us back. And together we will be a more successful country, no doubt. So what else can you do? Why not support our Community Action Saturdays? I'm getting ready. Actually, Tony McRae, he has an event on Manning Street at 11 o'clock. I think they're going to have free lunch and they're going to have community clothing. That's at 11 o'clock on Manning Street. I'm going there, right? If you, let's say, if you just want to go just to say hi to Tony, just to say, brother, we support you. We support you. We support your courage for running, whether I'm going to vote for you or not. Let's start showing support. That's today at 11 o'clock. Go check out Tony McRae. I'm going. What else can you do? It'd be so nice if you support Kelly and I. So at 2:30 today, we're going to be at the old bus station in Marion, and we have swag. So we've got free swag. I'm not sure what's all coming in. We're waiting for a FedEx, but we definitely got tons of face masks and a whole bunch of other stuff. Come get some swag. We've got, who's cooking today? I think, is it Whoville? It's tomorrow. I think Whoville's cooking today. So we've got food on the grill today at the old bus station. We'll be out there. And even if even if, you know, you don't want to get out your car, or you still don't want to get involved or whatever, drive by, see us, blow the horn. We love that. It helps us. It gives us energy. Blow the horn. Beep at us. Wave at us. Okay. Tomorrow, we have Gospel in the Park. We're going to be at Liberty and Greg Streets tomorrow. We have 3 or 4 groups that are going to be performing. Tater Bennett is our MC. He's also going to be singing. We've got Chiron and Company who's going to be there. That's at 2:30 tomorrow on Sunday. You can register voters. I have tons of voter registration forms. You can say, Mikko, drop off some for me. I'll drop them off. There's always an election coming up. It may be too late to vote in this election to register, but just keep the forms. You want to do that? You can do that. Nobody has to know that you're registering people to vote if you're fearful of the repercussions, and there are some. There are serious repercussions for people who look like me, who stand with us. And I know that. That's why I don't pressure people, because I know that just being in the picture with me, you know, it's troublesome. It's going to cause some people problems. You can do other stuff. You can make phone calls. You can beep your horn. And I hope that you will join us. On Tuesday, we're going to be in Florence, and we're going to have this great event. You can join us in Florence. We're going to be on 1210 West Evans Street. There's so much stuff that's going on. It took me 20 minutes to tell you about that, what's happening in Florence. But there's a sister there. Her name is LaShonda Jackson Naismith, or Naismith Jackson. She's running for city council. She had to win the primary, then she had to win a runoff. Now she's running in the special election. Her election is on Tuesday. And she can use your support in Florence. Her district is just a little bit more African American. It's like 52% African American. And the reason why it got to that point is because it's been gerrymandered. I'm gonna come back to you. We're gonna be talking about gerrymandering and what we can do to help it, so that it works in our benefit. So she's got a race to run, and she needs your support. She's running against a stone cold Republican. So I'm gonna recap. How can you help? You can help in big ways. You can help in small ways. You can donate. I didn't even realize it, but in the past 2 weeks while we were out there, people have been making donations to help our cause. How awesome is that? We didn't even ask for it. People just been coming. People of all colors and ethnicities have been coming and donating, $5, $10. And this is not a plea for money. More important is the help. But I'm just telling you some of the things you could do. So you can go meet Tony McRae at 11 o'clock. I'm definitely going to go. You can help us at Community Action Saturdays. That's this Saturday at 2:30. We're going to be skipping next Saturday for the holiday, and then we'll be back the following Saturday. You can join us for Sundays in the Park. This week is going to be gospel. You can register voters in your own family and in your own neighborhoods. You can join us on March 30th. So if you're watching and you're from Florence and you know some folks, there's a lot of people on the ground in Florence. Miss Maddie Thomas, she's one of the best Democratic chairs I have ever met. Shout out to Dion. Oh, also definitely have to shout out to the folks in Marion County that have been helping us. From, I'm kind of call him Street, but Leroy Owens, he's been down with us since day one. I wish we had more Leroy Owens. I wish we had more people that are in the hood that will join us. We need you. All right. That's what I'm going to end with. There's so much more to come. And I didn't even do, like I said, I've been holding these notes and adding stuff to it. But I'm gonna end with please help. And Georgia, we got your back. Black voters matter. We got your back. It is time for change. See y'all soon.